Good morning and happy Saturday. Today is the 20th of May, and this is my Flosstube number 81, and I'm Katie Carney from Katie's Stitching. I hope that you're all well. It's in the 60s here today in Scranton, so it's actually very nice out. I'm filming pretty early. I don't usually film before my Saturday morning errands. But I need to take something to Hobby Lobby this morning, and I wanted to show it to you all first. So I hope that you all have had a great 2 weeks. I think I filmed, actually not even quite 2 weeks ago, because I think I filmed on Sunday last time. But like I said, I had to finish, and Hobby Lobby's not open tomorrow, so I needed to film today, which is fine. I have a weekend at home, all my weekends at home lately. But I wanted to film. Anyway, things are okay here, status quo, which is fine with me. I had a doctor's appointment they call it, my medication's called mavacamten, so they call it the Mava Clinic. You come in, depending on how long you've been on the med, either monthly, every 8 weeks, or every 12 weeks. So this was my 8-week visit, and now next time I don't have to come for 12 weeks. And then once you hit 12 weeks, you just start going every 12 weeks for an echocardiogram and for a visit. So I went, it was Monday morning, and my boyfriend surprised me, and he showed up at my house at 4:45 in the morning to drive me, so I didn't have to, because my doctor's office is about an hour and a half away. And I always schedule the first appointment in the morning for the echo, and then I usually get to the doctor's office by a little after 8, and they're not there yet because it's right next door. But I've discovered with doctor's offices, you either get there early and they are kind of on time, or you get there later and they're hours behind. And I don't mind when they're hours behind, but I try to get back to work. So Monday I went into work for 12. It was a long day. I was actually kind of stressed about how long of a day it was going to be, but I just, I powered through. And then I had a great week. I had a pretty good week at work. I got to see Mark a lot, which was wonderful. And last night we went on a date. We don't usually do things locally. We go to the orchestra so much in Philadelphia, or to the we go to a lot of things out of town that we do very little at home. And I got tickets to the Catholic Choral Society, which is our diocesan choral society. And so that was last night at a local church. And we didn't know if we were going to go, didn't know if he could get out of work, and he snuck away, and we went, and it was lovely. The choral society is very talented, and then one of the local middle schools, they also performed their choir, so that was nice. And it was good. It was good for me to go to something. I think I've told you that I've kind of become very home oriented, and I don't want to leave. So it was good. It was wonderful. Anyway, that's not why you're here. So, I preface all this with I have some whips, and I have a big finish, and I have a lot of haul. But we'll talk about the haul in a little bit. And I will also say it's mostly vintage haul. So anyway, let's get to it. My first finish is Prairie Schooler Santa 1993. I try to do 4 Santas a year, and this is my second one for the year. So actually I'm ahead. I finished this a week and a half ago, maybe a week ago, something like that. I do mine on 18 count. I think it's Fiddler's cloth. It's oatmeal colored, and I use the called for DMC. So here he is. I actually really like him. You can't really see, well, you can see it in person, the border, but I like that. I don't garden. I hate to garden. My best friend gardens for me at my house. So this Santa has nothing to do with me, but I think he's cute. His little cheeks. And then I think this is probably backwards for you, but I always put the year that the Santa is and then the year that I finish it. And then I could not figure out what this was going to be, and it says seed. It's a seed pack. So that is my Santa finish number 2 for the year. And actually, I'm not going to start the next one until July 1st because I figure 1 a quarter, we're good. So, and I have lots of smalls to work on. I'm actually also going to show you some of the smalls that I'm going to be working on. Yo, why does my nose just run as soon as I start filming? It runs all the time. The allergies this year are, allergies. My small, so this cup, it's not really big. It's like it's a normal size cup, but I used to drink 2 big, much bigger, like the 15-ounce cups of coffee in the morning, and then usually another one. The good old days. Anyway, the next Prairie Schooler that I start in July will be 1994, and I'm really excited about this one. This is a sunflower one. But I was going through the colors to see what I needed to pull. Like, usually I have to pull 1. It's like they reinvented the wheel. I think 4 of the colors in that Santa are not already in my Prairie Schooler bag. But that's okay. So, and I already have the cloth cut down. So that will be, I probably won't start it like July 1st. I'll finish whatever small I'm working on. But I won't work on that until July. And then I have a very big finish. So when I got back from the hospital, I think I have told you several times that I was looking for very easy things to work on. I wanted Ada. I didn't want to have to think that hard. I couldn't think that hard. So I pulled out a Country Magic Stitch, Welcome to Rivendell. And initially I was hoping to have this done for Father's Day next year. And then I started on it, and these are great. Like, there's maybe, well, how many colors is there? 3, 6, 9, 12. There's 16 colors here. There's not that many colors. I do it tent stitch, 4 strands tent. And my dad's, the Lord of the Rings ones are on 14 count Ada, so it's big. And then, so there is definitely some shading. But a lot of it, like once you get the outline done, is just big blocks of color. So I started that. It's a month ago today. And so last night I finished it. And I think it looks good. So that's Welcome to Rivendell. Using 14 count Ada and the called for DMC. Tent stitch. I think it's beautiful. Let me pull my chair forward. So I do think that the gazebo, which took me a couple days, came out really cute. And I wish do I have my phone here? Maybe I should pull up a picture of Rivendell. Rivendell. Images. So when you first see it in Lord of the Rings, I do not want to search inside the image. What did I do? Like, it's just like very heavenly. So this is the water in the corner that is so hard for you to see on my phone, and that's the mountains. And then this is the building. So I think it looks great. So with all of my Country Magic stitches, because I do tent stitch, they kind of get a little cattywampus. So I will lose, when I have them, what I have them do when they frame it is I have them square the bottom, and then I lose a little bit up here, which is fine. It's a cloud. So I think it looks great. I love it. I did press it this morning, but I left my pressing mat out. I'll press it again, and I'm going to go to Hobby Lobby today. I'm 98% certain they have the same frame I used for the Shire, which I did for my dad. And if they do, it's going to go in that. And that's it. Happy Father's Day to my dad. My brother's going to help me pay for framing. I did the work. He's going to help pay for it, which is what I was hoping for. I enjoyed every stitch of that. I will say about 10 days ago, I was like, oh, I'm ready to be done this, because I worked on it straight for a month. I had a couple days where I didn't really stitch, but other than that, I just worked on it until it was done. But then like this week, I was like, oh, I gotta get to it. And then it felt like I was so busy this week, I didn't have time to stitch, which was really annoying because I wanted to finish. But I think it looks great and I am thrilled. So next, when I start a country magic stitch, which probably won't be until the new year, I will do, I think I'm going to do Hogsmeade from Harry Potter, and that one will be for me. So I have all of the Harry Potters. There's 4 or 5, and then I think I have all the Lord of the Rings, but I do one for him and one for me and one for him and one for me. So yeah, I'll do a Harry Potter one for me next, and that's on 14 count Aida. And then I've got the Aida for 2 more of my dad's. I got this at Walmart for like $1.97. Doesn't have to be expensive, y'all, especially with Aida. I love Aida. And actually, this Aida is really nice. It's very soft. So the next time I'm at Walmart, I'm actually going to see if they have any more of it, because it's great. Because it's very, very soft and it's cheap. And it's funny, Vana said, I watched her stitch with me. I love Stitch with Me's. Who knew? I want to make a Stitch with Me. Would you guys watch me stitch? Well, I don't know how. I would never be able to. But anyway, it is so fun to just listen to somebody chit chat and you're like literally stitching with them. Loved it. But she pointed out that Hobby Lobby had gotten rid of a lot of their cross stitch stuff, and mine did too when they did that big clear out. They don't have any large pieces of fabric anymore. So luckily my Michaels has big pieces of Aida, and that's what I was able to dye for the Modern Folk embroidery tapestry. I'm going to show you that in a second. But I don't, like, where do you get just big pieces of plain fabric? Like, I could buy a bolt of 14 count Aida on Amazon for like $25. I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about dyeing fabric, and then I'll go into my whips. So I think I told you last time that I bought this, that printed terribly from Modern Folk Embroidery. It's also a Lord of the Rings piece. I am a nerd, and I want to hang it right there over that little mirror. Like that. And that I was going to dye my own fabric, and I did. So I did a couple experiments. I'm hoping that I'll remember to link the videos I watched. Vana sent me the one that she uses for liquid rit dyeing, and somebody else recommended a video for ice dyeing, and I did both. And I dyed my thumb because my glove got a hole in it. But so I did the ice dyeing first. I will also say none of these are as vibrant as I wanted them, but they're very pretty, and I'm definitely going to use one. So for the ice dyeing, I did an 18 count Aida and a I did an 18 and a 22 count Aida. So this is the 22 count. It's a much smaller piece, and the piece would just squeak on. So that's the ice dyeing. This is using an entire thing of dark green powdered rit with a little bit of light gray on top. So that's the 22 count. And then next to it, I put the 18 count. And it's funny how they took the dye differently. So this is the 18 count. And what you do for the ice dyeing is you wet it first, and then you put it down on like a baking tray with a tray under it. Let me tell you, I made a mess on the back porch. cover it nice. I used 6 trays. Six, yeah. That was all I had. Sprinkled. I used all the dye. And then I walked away and went to the store. When I came home, I was like, yeah, they're nice, but they're not exactly what I wanted. So I said, well, tomorrow I will dye using the method that Vanna recommended, that she likes. And then I was like, you know what? I'm already covered in dye. Let's just do it. So this is that. And I'm pretty sure this is what I'm going to use. So you can see it's a dark green, which is what I wanted, with just a little bit of modeling. And I think that this is the color I'm going to use. It's DMC 01. I think it looks great. I love it all. This one, this is the color. It has been impossible to take a picture of. So that's it. Impossible. I have not posted a picture on Instagram because I just can't get one. So, and there it is with 01. I think this has got just enough of like a color variation. It looks hand-dyed. I love it. And I will definitely dye fabric again because it was fun. And then here, I mean, that doesn't look bad, but it's not quite what I was going for. And then this one looks pretty good, but the 22 count will be really small. And again, it's a little more model. I wanted a little modeling. So that is for the tapestry. So yeah. And then I think it calls for, he has you do 2 strands full cross on 18 count. And I'm going to do that because I really want it to pop off because it's supposed to be a tapestry. I don't know when I'll start this, but it's going in the to start pile, and I love it. So that was, I guess, a finish since I dyed the fabric. Sorry, I think this might be a long video today. I apologize. Hope you don't mind getting stuck with me. I have a couple more whips. The first is my knitting whip, and I don't think I had started this the last time I saw you. I think I started it last week. So this is the Traveler by Dre Renee Knits, and I am using a wool of the Andes Sport Weight from Knit Picks. And I'm actually moving right along on this. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna finish it. It'll take me all summer probably. But it's very pretty. So I got the bottom done, and then the first 3 repeats of the pattern. Color doesn't show up all that well, although, oh, there it is. I think it does look good with my skin tone. And so this will stretch when you wash it. You block your knitting before you, oh gosh, hang on, I'm losing stitches. Holy moly. Oh dear Lord. Hang on, we're having a knitting emergency. Okay, sorry, day has been saved. I have a stitch marker where the beginning of the round is, and I only did 1 stitch on the round, so when I dropped a couple stitches, I dropped the marker. But all is well now. So yeah, I think it's coming along. This current section I'm working on, I have to go until it's about 7 inches not stretched, because you can see that's got some stretch to it, and I'm about halfway there. So we'll see. Her patterns have never led me wrong, so I have great faith that it's going to be fine. So, excuse me, since I finished that Prairie Schooler Santa, I decided to start some smalls, some Mill Hill in particular smalls, because I have a collection of them and I have a whole bunch more that I want to buy. So I started Santa and Rudolph. There's not much to show you so far because these are not terribly, I don't find working on perforated paper fast. I find it actually quite slow. But that's what I have so far. So you can see the reindeer and his jacket and boots kind of coming along. And what I do with Mill Hill is I do all of the stitching at work or in my car or whatever. And then when it's time to bead, I'll take a night here. I do not travel with beads. Although I keep it all together, I do not take them out. They stay in there. So the beads are there, and I'll just take a night and finish and do the beading. And now that Rivendell's done, I'm not in a rush to get anything else done. There's no stress in cross stitch. So yeah, I want to get this done, and then I thought I'd show you some of my other smalls that I want to work on between now and July. I have had this for several years, and it is a needle pulling thread, and it is by Shepherd's Bush, and it's a little bag. It's all kitted up there for you. And that's like my favorite song. So a needle pulling thread, follow, and you know, Sound of Music, Christopher Plummer, first crush. And then I have a lot of Christmas Santa things. I have this one. These have been gifted to me. I think I only purchased a couple of them. Spring Bouquet. I thought about doing this, but this is all beading. We're not ready for that. I have Merry Christmas. And then I have, these are from a magazine, and they're gift tags. So at some point I'll do those. And then I love this one, and it's kind of hard to see, but it's called Autumn Harvest, and it's 3 pumpkins. That's high on the radar. Another one of these, an elk. I think it's an elk. Oh, a moose, excuse me. Moose, elk, you know. Sunflower pumpkin. Maybe I should start that in July when I do the Sunflower Santa. Puppy. Candlelight. This I might do for my grandmother. Candy cane. And Ollie the Elf. So these are all small Mill Hill kits, and I'm hoping to do one for my godson and one for each of his 2 sisters before Christmas as their Christmas presents. And then I have Celtic Santa that I want to do kind of for me. I have Snowbells. I don't know who I'm going to do that for. And then for my dad, even though I kind of want it for myself, I have Colonial Santa. So we'll see which one I do next. I think I might just get this done because I want to finish it. So that's one of my whips and some plans. And then the only other whip I have is I had a new start on, so Thursday was Ascension Thursday, the Lord, if you're Roman Catholic, or if you're Catholic actually, any of our other churches also, the Lord goes to heaven. On the 40th day, he goes. He ascends. And I was actually thinking I would start this on Pentecost, which is next Sunday, but I decided to start it now. A dear friend that I met through cross-stitching gifted me Jesus. Hi. And I had this in my cart on Amazon. I was going to get it, and she reached out and said, I would love to send it to you. So thank you very much. Very, 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 very much. I am using the kit fabric, but the floss, it doesn't feel like DMC, and I was worried there wouldn't be enough. So I am using Vanna Pfeiffer's, she converted this because she stitched, I'm sure if you watch me, you must watch her, because I'm a nobody. But she has stitched this a couple times, and she has a conversion to DMC. So it's listed on her, she did a stitch with me where she worked on that, and she lists her conversion in order. So I just pulled up the YouTube video in Hobby Lobby and bought the DMCs. And so I started that. I have very little done, but I started that on Thursday, even though I was supposed to be working on Rivendell. I would have finished Rivendell Thursday if I wouldn't have stopped to do this, but it felt important. I put this on my Dubco scroll rods. I have to tell you, I very much prefer roller frames, and I need to order a couple more bars because I only have 2 and they both have projects on them. Well, one of them doesn't, but the one that doesn't have a project on it is the one I bought to do Lady of the Flag, and they're like this. It's so big. So anyway, this is on my Dubco, and all I got done is, so this is his nose, and we're just working our way out. So there's not much to see there, and it's very light in color. But so I started right in the middle with his nose. Oh, I love this piece. So this is I'm gonna work on this today and tomorrow, and then going forward, I do want to get it done because it's for me, and I want it hanging. So I have to work on it. So I'm hoping that'll be my Sunday stitch. I usually get a lot of stitching done on Sundays. So the other days of the week, I will continue with my kind of rotation, but that is going to be just for Sundays. And then the person who sent me that also sent me the most beautiful mass card. And it's from the Association of Marian Helpers. It's in Massachusetts. And it's just, I love a mass card. But this is a particularly beautiful one. So it's about healing. So there's prayers for healing, beautiful pictures, and I just want to keep it with me because it's so beautiful and the prayers are so beautiful, and I feel like it was just sent with such love. So thank you very, very much. Now it's time. Let me tell you my plans, what I'm going to be working on after I put Jesus away for the week. I'm going to go back finally to working on the projects that I had planned for this year, but I'm not planning any more new starts because I have picked up a couple. And I have another one planned. So I need to still work on, hang on, let me see what I still need to work on. Can you hold for a second? All right, so I still need to work on Lavender and Lace Fireflies, the Winter Rose Sampler, the Harvest by, is that Butternut Road or, I don't remember, Christmas Spirit, which actually I'm not going to work on until July, and then Glitter Village and the Railway. And those are the 4 whips I have not worked on yet this year. So my plan is this week to pull out the Railway, which is by Owl Forest Embroidery. And let me show you that pattern. So I am using 40 count. I don't know the color. I think it's from Bestitched Me with the called for floss. A friend of mine had the floss. Jen, thank you. And she sent it to me because you can't buy from Owl Forest right now legally because she's Russian. So anyway, I bought the pattern right before, well, as soon as it came out. I'm 98% certain that was before the Ukrainian war started. So anyway, here is this. Eventually I would like to finish this for Mark, but it's bigger than it looks. So the last time I worked on this was when I had COVID. And that's what I've done so far. And that's what I'm going to pick up on Monday night, or maybe Tuesday. I often don't stitch on Mondays because I meet with a sister on Monday. I actually finished I did the Ignatius spiritual exercises. They took about 8 months. That's the sister I made the project for at Christmas. We finished. We celebrated last week. What a experience that was. And actually, that's a big part of why I want to stitch this. When you do, it's Ignatius, Saint Ignatius, his spiritual exercises that he wrote hundreds of years ago. And when you do them, it just changes your life. It changed my life. It's how I was able to get through the AFib and the hospital and the sickness after and the whole thing. Your faith grows, the graces that you're given grow. My relationship with Jesus grew, my relationship with Mary. If you are Roman Catholic, find yourself a spiritual director who will take you through the Ignatius exercises. Instead of doing a 30-day retreat, do the 8-month. Absolutely changed my life for the better. 100%. Highly recommend. Anyway, back to cross stitch. So my grandmother and I got a cold call from Nielsen, the people who used to fill out like what radio stations you're listening to, and they were like, we're trying a new thing where we put a receiver on your TV and we will be able to see what you're watching. And I was like, you mean I won't have to write it down? Stellar. So they did that, and we got a $75 check. And then I got a call about a month ago, and they said, you know, this was a trial, and now we want to interview you in person. We'll take the transponder, and we'll give you a $150 Visa gift card for your trouble. And initially they had said that they would leave that transponder on for 6 months or a year. And I was like, well, am I in trouble? Did I do it wrong? And they said no. They came, they asked us a lot of questions about the setup, if we liked how it looked. Like, it was really, as they're, I'm assuming, phasing out having to handwrite things, they're testing this market. And I just happened to answer the phone, and I will do a lot of things for free money. So anyway, I had that $200 and some unexpectedly that I didn't have to work for other than a couple hours of my time, and I went shopping. So that paid for like the Knit Picks yarn I bought, and then I went down a kit rabbit hole, partially from watching Vana, some of which had already been in my cart. I seem to lean towards more 80s, 90s kind of designs. That's just, I guess, who I am. So let's see what I bought. Oh, first off, this was definitely because of Anna. I bought these twistable colored pencils. The Mill Hill kits, the holes to mark off where you stitched are very small, and it's full coverage, so you got to mark them off. And I didn't have a highlighter that was thin enough to do that. And she had said something about using these, so I bought them. And it's a crayon, and you just twist it down, and then you have a nice thin point to mark off where you've stitched. So I got 50 of them for like $13, and I'm assuming they don't dry out because they're colored pencils. So I'll have twistable colored pencils for the rest of my life. All right. So this all started with Jesus. And I just found myself on eBay. So I got myself, this is a Petite Gold collection, and it is footprints. It's never been opened, although when I opened it to look at it, I cracked it. And this is in his arms, and he said, "He spoke, my precious child, I love you and would never leave you. When you saw only one set of footprints, that was when I carried you." So I think everybody's seen this. I don't know when it's from, but I love it. Oh, 2011. This was made. I don't know when it went for sale, but then this has been in my cart forever, and I love it. And I want to stitch it right now, but I can't. This is a Janlin kit. This I got on Amazon, and it's called The Greatest Gift. And I love Santa, and I love Christmas, and I love the word believe. And I just thought Santa going to see the sweet baby Jesus on Christmas. I have loved this forever, and I haven't purchased it. And I was just like, you know what? Get it. Then I was down the eBay rabbit hole, and I found this. This is Renaissance Sampler, and it says it's Luke 2:7. Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful. I love this. But wait, there was also a set of ornaments. But wait, there was also a stocking. They spelled Catherine wrong. I spell it with a K. So I just, they weren't expensive. I had the gift card. It was fine. Treated myself. And with the stocking, I collect lavender and lace. Went a little crazy yesterday. Somebody posted a bunch of butternut road, lavender, and lace, and I can't remember what the third one is, but the Marilyn Bloom, I don't remember her name actually. She designed 3 sets of patterns. I have the goal of to have them all. I'm like halfway there. But anyway, this came with free shipping from the person that I got the stocking from. And this is, which one is she? Angel of Hope. Then my beloved John Paul II, Saint John Paul II, our Polish Pope, our papal leader. Oh my gosh, I cried when he died. I cried at his funeral. Who knew there was a gold collection of my hero? I love him. And did you know October 16th is my birthday? That was when he became the Pope. So he was a Pope from 78 until 2005. Also, there's a movie called The Prophet, which is about one of the cardinals from Poland during communism and how he was able to keep Catholicism alive in Poland during communism, and his push for John Paul to become the Pope. It's excellent. It's in Polish. You have to watch it with subtitles, but it's on Amazon. You have to rent it. But I saw it in theaters and then I bought it. Fantastic. Highly, 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 highly recommend. Excellent movie, even if you're not Catholic. But to see how the Polish people fought communism, highly recommend. There was also a Janlin kit of John Paul II with the Vatican in the background. I love that too. I love John Paul. I love him. Love him. Love him. So. My grandmother's parents are from Poland and my aunt is from Poland. So. Then I was like looking, this all started because when I knew I was going to start Jesus, I wanted to also have a Blessed Mother. And that same company does have, and it's coming to me, a Blessed Mother. But she doesn't really look kind of how I wanted, but the colors were right. It was the same colors as Jesus. So that's on its way. But then I found this on Etsy. And that's the colors. It's like 6 colors. It was like $5. So I found that. And then this is in color. And initially I thought I was going to do it for me. It's a Bucella, however you say it, kit. And it's Madonna and Child. My best friend, Bernadette, the one who took care of me after my open heart surgery, the one who took care of my grandmother when I was in the hospital this time, the one who dropped off food every day for weeks, the one who I spent Mother's Day with last week, best friend. Her mother passed away when I was in my mid-20s, a couple years before my mom died, and I loved her mother. And her mother's favorite flower was the lily. And when my friend had a daughter, she named her Lily. And I didn't notice when I got this kit because I just thought the Blessed Mother was so beautiful. But look at all those Easter lilies. So this has to go. It was like God was like, this has to go to Bernadette and Lily. It has to. I get her lilies for almost every holiday as a gift. So, oh my gosh, you guys. This was made in Hazleton, Pennsylvania. That's like 45 minutes away from me. In 1999, back when all these things were made in the United States. Isn't that wonderful and sad? But anyway, I love this Blessed Mother. I would make it for myself, but Bernadette should have it. And Lily. So I've made her a couple things. I've made a lot of things for Bernadette and her children, but Lily's the one I made the quilt for during COVID. She's so cute. But this, I feel like, will be an heirloom. So once Jesus is done, this is next on the religious pieces. So that's my haul. I told you there was a lot of haul, and there's going to be more next time. I went months without really buying anything, and then the last 2 weeks I've been like, I must have all the things. But I don't feel bad about that because I used money that I didn't have to work for. And like, Visa gift cards are impossible to use. They really are. Because you have to use like the entirety of it, and then a lot of places won't let you use the entirety of it and go over, because where do you spend 150 actual dollars, like 150 even? So anyway, I had a lot of fun shopping. Now I'm done. Although there is some stuff still to come in, but I have plenty to stitch. I feel better. Thank you all for your prayers again. I think that I think where I am now is where I'm going to be. I don't feel as good as I did before, but I think that's the medication. And I just have to accept that I have to take it. I think that the anxiety, it has certainly gotten better. The constant fear has lessened, has dulled. It was the weirdest thing. I would get really anxious at 3 o'clock every afternoon. That has not gone away, but it has dulled. I am very grateful that I was able to go to the doctor's on Monday, and that I'm going back in a couple weeks. And then I think it's going to be hard for me not to go for a couple months, but I know they're a phone call away. I'm very blessed with my doctor's office. So all that to say, I am much, much better, calmer, and just trying to go back to not living in constant fear. I wish I could explain why it was AFib that set me over the edge, because y'all, I had open heart surgery at 28 years old. But I planned it. I knew I was having it. I was able to, bring my bed downstairs and buy the pajamas I needed and set everything up. And this was like I had to call off work because I was in the hospital. So, it is what it is. I'm very, very happy to be here, and to have stitching. This has certainly made me prioritize my stitching time because I am working out less, but I am losing weight, so that's good. That's a constant struggle, I think, for all of us. But anyway, thank you all so much. I know this was a long video, so if you hung out with me, thank you. I'll probably say this again, but I'm looking at, in June at some point, probably my second video in June, doing a whip parade at Midway, because I'll have worked through most of my whips at that point. So I think it would be fun to see where I am. I wish I had the talent to put a picture here and show you where I was and then show you where I am now, but I don't. I just film on the camera on my computer and then I upload it on YouTube. I don't have any editing capabilities. What you see is who I am. And now papers are falling all over the floor. Anyway, thank you all so much. I'm going to go to Hobby Lobby and Staples and Aldi. Wish me luck. I'll talk to you soon. Stay safe. Bye.